So in general, you can think of the cold being more in your head, throat, and going towards your chest. And the flu, one of the distinct important things that happens is that all these aches and pains go to your arms, they go to your legs, your whole body. You just feel exhausted and you have all these pains everywhere. But they're everywhere, not just in the head area, in the nose area like it is for a cold. And of course, again, the fever is very classic to be with the flu and not so often. In fact, it's rare with a cold unless that sore throat turns into an infection. So those are some of the key differences that you can think about with the cold and the flu. And of course, a cold can eventually turn into a flu. But the flu tends to send the virus throughout the whole body as opposed to the cold, which just has the virus in the head area. These symptoms are usually easily addressed with the body's normal immune system, unless it becomes compromised. Many of you have heard of people dying of having the flu, and the reason is that their immune system is so compromised they can't fight the simplest of viruses. And that, of course, that happens with a lot of people who are older or who have some very serious conditions. When the immune system is compromised, it allows an immune boost to be able to come into the body so that we can be ready to fight these organisms. Immune Triple Plus, which is our product, is a triple defense system which allows our bodies to stay healthy even in the face of viruses and bacteria. And I'll tell you why. This is a triple defense system that has 3 blends. The first and most important blend is a polysaccharide complex, which just means it comes from certain plants and potent mushrooms. The second blend is a Life C blend, which is a pure form of vitamin C, but that has a very specialized delivery system. And then the third blend is the herb and botanical blend, which is a mixture of 5 natural immune boosting sources. The OptiShield is the most important. It has the polysaccharide complex, again an extract from the species of plants, and of course the 3 mushroom blend, reishi, maitake, and the very pretty turkey tail mushroom. The OptiShield increases how effective your body is at recognizing and attacking organisms and substances. And it does this by increasing your T cells, your B cells, and your natural killer cells. Now you have to clearly understand that the white cells that are in the body are what's important in fighting any type of infection. The reason that we say that there's an immune boost is because very few immune blends that are out there actually increase T cells, increase B cells, and increase natural killer cells. Now the B and T cells, one of them goes inside the cell, one of them fights from outside the cell. But the interesting thing about the natural killer cells is that the natural killer cell does not wait for the virus to duplicate to a very large number. When it recognizes it at all in the body, it attacks it immediately. And i.e., that's why it's called a natural killer cell. The Life C blend is a pure, potent form of vitamin C with a unique delivery system. We say unique because it goes in your body and raises the vitamin C very high within 2 hours. And this was in a study comparing it to a different vitamin C. And then it lasts for the full 24 hours at a higher level than other vitamin C blends. Together with the combination of ingredients in the Life C blend, it supports healthy immune function, boosts the immune health and immune response. And it also reduces inflammation. And inflammation is the start of many conditions, so it's crucial to have that as well. The third blend, the herb botanical blend, gives a natural immune boost through more potent forms of vitamin C. So for those of you who notice, if you look on the bottle, it actually says 600 milligrams of vitamin C. 500 comes from the pure form, and the other 100 comes from the botanical blend. This also increases the immunity to colds and infections as well. So, those are the three blends of the immune booster, an immune triple plus, and those three blends do a great job to increase B, T, and natural killer cells. So we decided to try this not only on people who want to take the product, but we actually looked for people who had symptoms or problems like the ones that I was talking about earlier in that list, comparing the colds and the flus, and we interviewed several IBOs, to be specific, 15 IBOs experienced flu-like effects. So we interviewed them before they actually took the immune, and we sent the immune to them for free since they were sick. After taking the immune in 3 days, I personally interviewed them. I also interviewed them in the beginning to make sure that they had the symptoms that we were looking for, and then after 7 days, they were interviewed by me once again. Okay, let's talk about what problems we were looking at, very similar to what I mentioned before, and what the actual results were when we were looking at through my interviews. So in the beginning, those that were running a temperature was approximately 27%. After 3 days, it went down to 6%. And after 7 days, it was 0. So out of the 15, all of them that had a temperature stopped having a temperature at day 7. Now, mind you that they were taking it at a higher level of usage. Usually when you're healthy, the usage is 1 twice a day, approximately 12 hours apart. And in this particular challenge, we had them take 2 twice a day since they already had symptoms. Those that had this head discomfort in the beginning was 87%, which came down to 40% in 3 days. And then after the 7 days, only 1 of the 15 people still had a little head discomfort. That's pretty amazing. I don't think you can find that with most of the traditional pharmaceutical treatments for either a cold or a flu. Body aches in the beginning, 87%, went down to 33% in 3 days. And then after 7 days, only 1 out of 15 had body aches. Pretty amazing. Fatigue. Now, you know, when you have the flu, you get real fatigued. And in the beginning of this, 87% said that they had fatigue. By 3 days, it was halfway down to 47%. And then by the end, there were only 2 out of 15 that had the fatigue. That's pretty amazing. Again, fatigue being a big part of flus, not as often with the cold. Exhaustion. In the beginning, we had 33% that said they had exhaustion, went down to 27%, and then at the end, again, only 2 of 15 of the IBOs actually still had exhaustion. Stuffy nose, in the beginning was 87% that said they had it, went down again to 33%, and once again, only 2 out of 15 had a stuffy nose after 7 days. And the other one would be sneezing. Sneezing, 53% had it, 13% at 3 days, and after 7 days, nobody had any sneezing. All the sneezing was gone. Sore throat. You get that with the cold at times. 60% in the beginning, went down to 20, and then at the end, only 1 of the 15 still had a mild sore throat. Coughing. You know how annoying that can be, a hacking cough with a cold, or even worse with a flu. 60% in the beginning, went down to 33%, and then at the very end, only 1 out of 15. More important is that none of these people, none of these 15, progressed to something worse. That's probably the most important thing that I can say about the immune product, that it prevented and stopped any further processing of the virus to then cause further conditions that would be worse. All participants experienced a significant improvement by day 3, with 87% feeling completely healthy by the conclusion of day 7. Now, a cold usually takes, on its own, without immune, takes 7 to 10 days to see any improvement. Flus usually take 10 to 14 days to see any improvement. With immune, as I've stated earlier with the numbers, the improvement was found within 3 days, which is, voila, that's awesome, especially for a natural product that does not have the side effects that many pharmaceutical products do. So take immune to stay healthy. The participants in the challenge took 4 tablets of immune per day because their immune systems were already weak. To keep your immune system strong all year round, take immune as directed daily, 1 tablet twice a day. And on an ending note, one of the people that was actually in one of the IBOs had a very compromised immune system because of a different condition. And I remember this distinctly because I was so impressed that after 4 days, she was feeling better, even though she had a very bad condition which challenged her and gave her a very compromised immune system, and the immune triple plus did well. Furthermore, I want to add that there were several people in this promotion that actually had the flu shots before, and the flu shot, should have prevented them from getting a lot of these symptoms, and it did not. But yet, immune triple plus got rid of them. So that's saying a lot for the product. And as a final word, I will tell you, I take it twice a day myself, and I have not gotten sick at all. All right, so if you have any further questions, as always, I am more than happy to answer them. You can send them directly to me at research at lifefarmglobal.com. Research at lifefarmglobal.com. And I'd be more than happy to send you your answers as quickly as possible. Well, you have a wonderful week. Stay happy and healthy.
Thank you, Dr. Andahar. Thank you again, everyone, for taking the time to be on tonight's webinar. If you'd like to hear this webinar again or share it with someone in your team, it will be included in February 16th e-newsletter or on the lifefarmglobal.com website under Press and Events and the calendar for today's date. Please come back next Thursday, February 19th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to join our Lifefarm Global Network Opportunity webinar with your Director of Field Development and Training, Karen Goodman, and her special live guest, Titanium Director, Irene Savchin. We will also have a special product endorser from Puerto Rico, Dr. Jose Toro. Thank you again, and good night, Lifefarm Global family.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.